go. Hello, 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 and welcome. We are so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Christy Little Jones of MyRelationshipRevolution.com, and I have a special guest today, Candace Claiborne of C Squared Artistry. So you are here to just participate in our broadcast. It's going to be just a relaxing time. I just really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us over the next 90 minutes. And it's going to be, a just talking, beauty and confidence, and is a big one. This is a big one, right, Candace?
Yes.
And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be some insight, and we're going to give you really good nuggets. But we want to just wait one more minute just for people who are kind of checking in to make sure that they get everything that we have for them, right? And then we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. We got people joining us. Very exciting. Perfect. I feel like you should be singing, Candace.
Me? You can play your happy song like you did a couple weeks ago.
I know.
Good. This is going to be good, guys. It's going to be a good night.
Yes. Okay, let's see. We're going to go ahead and get started in. Here it is. Perfect. Let's go back to this. This whole little this whole thing is like, whew.
Yes. Trying to navigate through all of the.
Huh?
They're trying to navigate through all of the.
Yes, it's just extra. Okay, here we go. And then, okay, let me just see how this. Perfect. Let me grab this, and we're going to, when you do multitasking, as women, we're really good, but whew. Okay, perfect. Honey, I can't find.
Oh.
Huh?
You looking for the points?
No, I'm looking for us. Okay, there we go. Yay! We're here. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, my name is Christy Little Jones, and I'm here with special guest Candace Claiborne of C Squared Artistry. And you are here to just join us for our hangout, our broadcast, which will be for the next hour and a half. And we are going to talk all about confidence and beauty and character. This is a big one for us women in particular. And so I really look forward to just sharing over the next 90 minutes with you. But first thing I would love for you to, because it's going to be important for you to just get comfortable, grab something to drink or eat if you haven't eaten. Also, get a notebook and a pen, because we're going to have some good practical steps that we want to give you guys tonight as well. And I just wanted to let you know that you are in the right place. If someone that you loved told you something that hurt you, and you believed them. You actually believed the lie. So they may have said something like, you're too tall, you're too short, you would look better if you gained more weight, or if you lost more weight, or your hair's too long, or your hair's too short, and your thighs are too big, and the list goes on and on and on. So if that is you, you are in the right place. If you are struggling with a disappointment in life and in relationships, and you really expected life to be different, this is the broadcast for you. If you feel that um, beauty is something that other people are, but you're not, just stay tuned because we've got some really good information for you. And I want to introduce Candace, who is my special guest today. She's an amazing wife to an awesome husband. She is an author and motivational speaker, and she's also a professional makeup artist, which really blesses my heart because I remember when it was just a dream. And so the fact that she is really truly walking in her purpose and is just thriving and happy and just helping and encouraging people all over the country just truly blesses my heart. And so I'm really excited to have her with us tonight. She is not only an amazing woman of God, but she's an entrepreneur, but she's also a God sister to me. And I'm just happy to have you here, Candace. So welcome to the My Relationship Revolution Google Hangout.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so, I wanted to show you guys something which was really cool. Let me just get that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I wanted to share this with you guys because let me get to the screen that I want to show you. Cultivating beauty, confidence, and character. That is where you are today. And so if you believe the lie, we talked about that, and there's shame behind truly who you are, and you don't know how to get from under it. If you're dealing with disappointment of just an unfulfilling life, if you are a recovering people pleaser, can I get a hands up if this is you? Because I am a recovered people pleaser. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. If you are struggling to move on from the hurt of the lie that someone really spoke into your life, it will bless you this time together. And if you just feel that there is something holding you back, that you know that life should be more fulfilling, that you know that there's something more for you, then this is where you're supposed to be. And so I wanted to start off with a definition of beauty. And this is the world's definition of beauty. And it says that the beauty is a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. I was struck by her beauty, or a beautiful or pleasing thing or person in particular. Interesting, right? And so I wanted to just share too, which I think is really cool. The Dove is Dove soap. In 2004, oops, sorry, I missed it. I don't know if it's here. I have to look. Give me 2 seconds. Let me make sure that it's in here. That's not. I had a picture of them, and I don't know where it is. Boo. Okay. Anyway, we go back to. Okay. So Dove in 2000 they actually did a global survey for women. And you know that only 2% of women thought that they were beautiful.
Mm.
Can you believe that, Candace? 2%?
Wow, that's really sad. It's really heartbreaking.
2%. And so in order to help women define or redefine themselves as beautiful, they launched this campaign. And this campaign is the Dove Real Beauty campaign. You may have heard of it.
Wow.
And so I want to actually get that picture up, and I'll get it in a second. But what they did is they interviewed or just surveyed these women, and 77% agreed that beauty can be achieved through attitude, spirit, and other attributes that have nothing to do with physical appearance.
Right.
Then there were 89% that strongly agree that a woman can be beautiful at any age. And 85% state that every woman has something about her that is beautiful. But there are so many of us who believed the lie that we're not beautiful because we don't measure up to the world standard of beauty. And I, in particular, have a heart for women who are struggling with this very same thing, because I too was one of those women who struggled because when I grew up in an environment of women that did not look like me. So I was one of very few black kids growing up in my area. And at the time I was a size 6. And my best friends, my closest friends, all of them were zeros or double zeros. You imagine comparing a 0 to a 6. It's a pretty big difference, right? And you know, you're growing up and you're preteen and teen, and we already know that the enemy tries to plant seeds in our young girls and young boys' minds at that ripe age. And so I believed the lie that I was not beautiful because my skin, because people used to always say, you're pretty to be so dark, you're pretty to be so black, where are you from? And then with the whole weight issue. And so just really struggled with that for decades of my life. So all of us have something that someone said that we believed. And so I wanted to start off today just asking Candace to really tell us a little bit more about what is beauty confidence. What is beauty confidence? What is beauty character? So you can just tell our viewers actually what that actually means.
Well, thank you so much again for having me. Excited.
You're welcome.
Beauty, character, and confidence is something that is completely internal. It's not anything you can put on. You can take off. It's who you are at the very core, and who God has designed. And so all of this is really built on the scripture that base who you are. You know, you are God. You're His master.
We can't hear you. You keep breaking up, Candace. No, can you
I'm gonna turn. I'm hearing a little bit.
Okay, that's better. Okay, so you said that we are God's masterpiece.
Yes. So that we've been created as His masterpiece, you know, for His purpose and for His plan. So that beauty character is really all of those things within you that make you that nobody else has and can never be taken away.
That's good. Yeah, and what we're going to talk about today is not only beauty confidence, but the power you possess to change not only your thoughts, but to how really to build greater beauty confidence and character. What is it that keeps blocking you from embracing all of who you are, and how people-pleasing directly connects to your beauty confidence, as well as what can you do to stop the negative thoughts and the negative self-talk. Interestingly enough, when just preparing for our hangout today, I found that there were 2/3 of women through the Dove study, research study, 2/3 women strongly agreed that physical attractiveness is about how one looks, whereas beauty includes much more of who a person is, which I thought was interesting. And women, they rate happiness, confidence, dignity, and humor as powerful components of beauty, along, with the more traditional attributes of the physical appearance, body, weight, shape, and even sense of style. So I wanted to ask you to ask yourself that when you say, "Oh, wow, she's beautiful," are you referring to their outside appearance, or are you referring to their inside? And, I really want to invite you to come over to we're going to have a private, exclusive Facebook group for our hangout tonight, and you can click the link below the screen that you're watching right now to join us. And so I would love to hear from you. When you say, "Oh, she's beautiful," are you referring to their outside, or are you referring to their inner person? Candace, what would you say to answer that question?
Honestly, I think most of the time when I see someone that is beautiful, I really do. I see their outward appearance, but it's usually something that's inside of them that I can't put my finger on, and it's something that I desire for myself. It's an attractiveness that's like, wow, I love what I see, I love what I'm hearing from her, and it's attracting me. Yes, her physical outward appearance is an attention matter, but there's something more behind how she's able to maintain that and what she does to be able to have that out the outside. So it's a little bit of both.
Right. That's good. And, just from your experience, what else, like other differences have you noticed, between the people that you've coached, people that you've helped in how they define beauty within themselves?
Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the things I'm noticing is that a lot of times people are comparing themselves to others. They are looking at everybody else on their news feed. They're looking at celebrities that have glam squads. And a lot of times we're not, being honest with ourselves about what we're capable of doing on the outside, but they're neglecting some of those internal characteristics that really do distinguish a person, that make somebody truly beautiful. Are you kind to people? Are you on time and being faithful with your commitments? Those are things that people look for, even though they may not ask for it. But that's the beautiful thing that some of us are really missing. We're struggling with, including myself.
Yeah, I get that. Do you think about, let's talk about, let me see if I have my little handy dandy definition about really what God says.
Yes.
Okay. And, okay. God says his definition, and I just thought it was, really Proverbs 31 is a really great depiction too of charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And even, one of the things that they didn't talk about, or like the world doesn't talk about, is that the key component to really what determines a woman's happiness, confidence, humor, dignity, and even self-definition is their faith. And their faith in loving a forgiving God is really what manifests beauty. And so I just feel like, wow, you know, if we could get to a place where we truly um, can recognize that God made us. He says, even in His Word, that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and you are made in my image. And I heard a story once that I thought, wow, this is really good. And it was after I became a mom, and you know, just talking about, you know, just some of the internal concerns that I may have just having a daughter and knowing kind of the struggles that I went through. And so when I was talking to a really dear friend, she said, "Can you imagine if Sky, my daughter, if she said, 'Mommy, I hate my hair. I hate my skin. I hate my nose. I hate my eyes because she looks exactly like me.'" And so can you imagine what God says when we say that about ourselves? I hate my body. I hate my skin. I hate my legs. I hate my hair, you know, and I thought, wow, that was like a major eye-opening experience for me, because it was just like, of course, you know, God made us to look like Him. So again, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and totally this just misconstrue and taint, I guess, for lack of a better word, taint really the truth of who God says we are. So if we can have the world showing us all of these media images on television, in the television, in magazines, at the checkout line, that, oh, this is what beautiful is, this is what beautiful is. That's why, you know what, I really cannot stand the 50 Most Beautiful Women in the World magazine. That really gets on my nerves, because I was like, no, because you're only looking at all famous, wealthy people. And how are you going to even say that they're the 50 most beautiful people in the world when you're only looking at a very small portion of the people? And but that's gotten on my nerves for like since I was in high school. I remember, and I used to be like, well, how are they going to even dictate that? But we believe that they're the experts, they're the authority on what beauty is. And so I really, Candace, if you can just even address the issues that we have with the whole plastic surgery, and you know how people go to the nth degree to change really the beauty and who God has made them to be. I think, wow, you know, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I would love to. You know, I read an article a couple of years ago in Essence magazine about a woman who got some butt implants. It was silicone injected butt implants, and she did not go about it, you know, with a proper surgeon. And it was, you know, inexpensive way to do it. And turns out that silicone moved through her entire body, and she ended up losing all four of her limbs.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And at the time, I was working, you know, still in a cosmetics store and counter. And, you know, I have so many people come in and they want their makeup and they want to look a certain way. Many people would show us pictures on the phone. I want to look like, you know, this is a picture of Kim Kardashian or whoever. You make me look like that. And it was really heartbreaking because many of us do not know how to embrace our own features. We don't know how to embrace, you know, the skin that we're in, the shape of our eyes, the fold of our lips, the curve of our hips. Like, I mean, I don't have much hip, but I can embrace that. You know what I mean? So it's just like plastic surgery is. There are times for plastic surgery, and I know that there are some women that look to that for various reasons, but when it is with the intention of completely changing what God has already created, I think that's where we're not really knowing the beauty that's already there.
Right. That's, you know, it's really just I think it just goes to show you how, um, you know, how far people will go. Like,
Yes.
Joan Rivers recently passed away. Um, and I know she went through a lot of cosmetic surgery, and to the point where she looked really very different
Mm-hmm.
than she did, even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I just, I've never really talked to someone who's gone through a lot of plastic surgery. Have you?
I have not.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't either because I really wanted to um, just find out what is it that you're looking for, or what is it that you're trying to gain. And so, if you, our viewers, are if you've ever had plastic surgery, or if you've ever um, what's the word? If you know someone who's had plastic surgery and you know why, and if you can tell us on our Facebook page, I'd be very curious to know um, kind of what women are thinking, or what they're trying to gain as a in an effort to really change that drastically, to go under the knife, to change something about their physical body. And so, Candace, can you tell us a little bit about, I know when we were preparing for this, you had a really great depiction of, hair, and, just the different components of just beauty character. I did get some feedback saying that there's a lot of feedback when you're talking, so I don't know if you have another computer going at the same time, but we can hear it, or it's a lot of reverb, or can you?
I think maybe if you turn down your volume, perhaps.
Okay.
See if that helps. Is that helping at all?
Okay. I think so.
All right.
Okay.
So my volume is all the way down.
Okay.
So
good.
you guys should be hearing without any reverb.
Sounds good.
So some of the things that we were talking about just in preparing for this is looking at some of the steps. One way to begin developing and cultivating a character is to really become aware of yourself. We talk a lot about hair. I'm growing my hair out, going natural, etc. And so much is in the media and in our own community where we're now becoming more confident in our hair texture. And when you look at hair, it's not something that you can control. However it's growing out of you is how it's growing out of you. And so I like to look at different parts of outward beauty to sort of assess our inward character. So example with hair being, what's growing out of you? What are the characteristics that are just kind of to your nature? They haven't been groomed. They have not been painted or styled or refined quite yet, but they're just kind of naturally growing out of you. You can look at your skin. What are the things that you need to begin cleansing in your life? What are the things that are dry that need to be moisturized? You can look at nails, for example. Nails are, oh my gosh, I used to get my nails done about once a week, a couple years ago, at least once every 2 weeks. And it was something that I did regularly because I enjoyed the process. But what are we doing? We're polishing, we're cutting, we're trimming, we're buffing. And unfortunately, we don't always take the time to do that with our character. To look at the areas in our life that need to be cut away, the areas that need to be polished and shined up. And so those are just some examples of ways to become aware. Just as you're aware of your regular maintenance with your outward beauty, use those as guides to help become more aware of what's going on in your character.
That's good. That's good. And then how, once we have awareness of the different aspects, how can we learn to just embrace them? I remember not liking my skin color, one, because people always talked about it, and it was always in a negative connotation. I think they were trying to give me a compliment,
Right.
but it never came off like that because, you know, it started probably around 12, maybe a little younger. Wow, you're pretty for a dark girl. Like, that's not a compliment. And so I took it or internalized it as being very negative. So I remember going through a stage where wanted a weave, and I wanted long hair, and then I went through the whole, I think it was hazel contacts.
Right.
That's hilarious. I wish I had a picture to show you guys. You know, because we were not embracing just who we were and wanted to be like the people that we were around and the people that we were comparing ourselves to. That was a big, big issue for me. And it's something, I mean, just being transparent, that I struggle with even today is the whole comparison. I have to be very intentional to really surround myself or prevent myself or put up barriers or you know, systems in place that help me not to compare, because I do know as a reformed people pleaser that you have to be intentional. You cannot just be like, you know, willy-nilly kind of going through life or just allowing life to happen to you, because you will just be swallowed up, really, with all that is going on, all that's in the media, all that's, you know, the hype. And if you're trying to keep up with the hype, you will completely lose yourself. And so I think that that's where many of us have found ourselves. Many of you may find yourself there, and that place of not knowing how to get out from under the swallow of just life or people pleasing or trying to fit in or trying to be accepted or trying to be validated. And if this is something that is resonating with you, please let me know. Let us know. You know, transparency and vulnerability is the precursor to breakthrough. You have to be able to share or be able to expose just the lies that you've believed. And, you know, we are God. When God created us, He created us with a pure heart and pure intentions. And really, the truth of His word was embedded in our hearts. And what happens is we have experience, or people speak a lie into our hearts, and what it does is it corrupts the truth of God's word. And what happens is, because if it's said over and over and over again, we start believing it. I can't begin to tell you how many couples Adrian and I took through just different premarital just classes preparing for marriage. And they would share that the struggle of something their fourth grade teacher said, that they'd never amount to anything, or something that their mother said, you know, that they were stupid, and they believed it because these are coming from people that they trust. And so I'm sure that you have experienced that as well. Someone that you trusted said something that you believed, because you believe people you trust, right? Because innately we believe that they have our best interest at heart. I remember when I was in 9th grade, might have been 8th grade, I can't remember, my very best friend in the world, like, you know, one of those where you go to school and you hang out with them all day, and then you come home, and then you're on the phone with them for 3 hours after you eat dinner. Like, what do we have to talk about? I don't even remember. But this was that kind of friend. And I remember she was so skinny, and she was always, you know, looking at herself in the mirror and always, like, wanting to be very, you know, neat and clean. And I used to be like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing to just stay so skinny? And she's like, well, come on, I'm going to show you. And I was like, oh, wow. It's like a new pair of jeans or a new, you know, brand of jeans or something. And she actually took me into her bathroom, and I remember it. It was huge. And she's like, this is what I do. And she didn't actually show me, but she's like, I stick my finger down my throat. She was bulimic. And I had no idea what that was. I had no idea. At first I was like, ew, gross. But then I was like, wow, well, if this works, let me try it. And so I did. I tried it, and I realized that it did not work. It didn't work. Because one, I like to eat and I liked food. And so I thought, well, maybe I can eat and then get rid of it and still be able to be and maintain and lose and be a zero like my friends. And it's a very serious condition, a very serious situation, a very serious issue for so many men and women. And come to find out, after it's probably 20 years, I reconnected with that really good friend. And come to find out that she struggled severely. It's a blessing for her to be alive, because she said she was purging up to 30 times a day. And, she went through this bout of alcoholism and drugs, and she hated who God had created her to be. And so it's been a journey for her to get back to this place of really accepting herself. And, one of the things that helped her to do that was actually when she started having a family of her own and realized, well, I don't want my daughter to struggle with what I did. And so I do believe that who we are does transfer to our children. And who your husband is, or who your husband will be, will transfer to your children. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That is why it is critical for you to really know, in more than you know, because that's one of the biggest decisions you will ever make, is who you marry, and really making sure that that person is who you want your children to be. And so I say all that to say that there are so many things that we struggle with that we may not, the root may not have started with us. It could have started with our mother, our grandmother, grandfather, dad. It could have started with them. And so now we're left with this life that we can now change. And so one of the areas that we can truly change, or one of the ways that we can change how we see ourselves, just really acknowledging and embracing the beauty of all of the beauty of who we are, is by changing the way we think and by changing what we speak. Candace, can you even just talk a little bit about how important beauty confidence and beauty character is in relation to just our thoughts and the way we think on a daily basis? Like, the daydreaming, the
right.
constant murmuring that we may have, whispers that we even say to our own souls in the mirror or in the dressing room, at the mall, things that we say to ourselves. How damaging can those not only thoughts but whispers and even words be to our beauty confidence and our beauty character?
Very damaging. I hope we're not echoing again. I think we're still getting some echo in there. Can you turn me down?
Yeah, I think so. I did.
Okay. So, yeah, as it pertains to your words, one of my mom's really good friends told me and taught me that your words shape your world. And
your words what? Say it again.
Your words shape your world. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Your words shape your world, and that is so true. It's so impacting, because the Bible even tells to us about the power of our word. Our tongue having life and death in our words. And one thing that I do as a practical exercise is I look into a mirror and I actually talk to myself. I will let myself hear the words coming out of my mouth that say, "You are beautiful. You are amazing." You know, even going something as simple as going through the ABCs and attaching a characteristic to each letter that you are believing for yourself to define you that day. You know, you are brilliant, you are determined, you are an executor, so on and so forth, and really truly meaning those things. This is not about a name it and claim it sort of deal, but it truly is believing that the power of your words are effective. The very same words that you use to pray, if you are a believer and you believe in Christ and you are praying to God, you are having a relationship with God, those same words are the words that you shape your world around you. I think we have to be careful to switch out our mirror. So many of the times.
Can you talk a little louder, Candace? Just louder. You talk louder.
Okay. So many of the times we are, you know, we're using our phone as the mirror. What are we seeing on Instagram? You know, what are we seeing on Twitter? What are we seeing on Facebook? And there's nothing wrong with those mediums. We all use them. But how much of that are we really taking in? You know, and how are we really monitoring ourselves so that we stop comparing ourselves to other people and we begin to see ourselves for who God has created us to be. It was really helpful for me to go through the Bible and to find scriptures that define God's character, because just as it says in Genesis that we were made in His image and in His likeness, in order for us to really get a good understanding of what that means, we need to go to the description of who He is. The Bible talks about this in Colossians 3, verse 10, where it talks about your new nature. It talks about, you know, putting on the new nature of kindness, tender-hearted mercy. So many things that if we begin to embrace them for ourselves, we are doing exactly what we need to do in order to start living out those truths. So that's one practical thing to do. Well, actually two. Just affirming yourself with God's word and really reassessing the mirror that you're looking at yourself through.
That's good. I'm really sorry, viewers. I don't know. They say when, I've just gotten some feedback that when you're talking, there's just a lot of echo. And I don't know why, because I don't have anything going on here, but they can hear me. Clearer. So I don't, I'm not sure. I'm so sorry for that. That's really good, Candace, because now you said you made a really good point about tell us that nugget again, and you guys write it down. You said that your words shape your
world.
Your words shape your world. Exactly. You know, I want to just show you guys something which I think is very interesting. Hold on one second. Let me get here so I can show you. This is me. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I'll get it so I can show you guys where it is. Because it's really, I want to get to that specific slide about your words. Okay. Well, the power of your thoughts. This is very key. Let me get here. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay, so the power of your thoughts. We have creative power in our thoughts. What do you casually say about yourself? What do you believe, or what you believe is what will manifest? My pattern of behavior is. What would you say your pattern of behavior is? You know, it makes me cringe because I know the power of life and death is in your tongue. I not only does God say it in His Word, but I believe it, and so this is the truth. What you say about yourself is what will manifest. And so I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I'm saying about myself, casually even? And, you know, it makes my children now, even young, 8, 9, and 11, I have created a system that helps them to be very conscious of their words. So every time they say, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I'm dumb, they owe me $1, because $1 goes in the jar, and we call it the death jar, or the negative word jar, because I know the power that goes behind negative words. And I heard this once, which was, it was years ago, probably about 15 years ago, and I heard it in a message, and I never forgot it. And what that is that, you know, in God's word, the truth says of his word that he knows our thoughts. He knows every thought we have. But the enemy, who comes to steal, kill, and destroy your life, he does not know our thoughts. He does not know our ways until we tell him. Mm-hmm. And what that is when we speak out of our mouths, what we speak out of our mouths, that is what the enemy grabs hold to, and then he runs with it. And so then he is able to use those thoughts to manipulate our own truth or our own beliefs about who God is, God's promises, what he says, what he doesn't say, what he does, what he doesn't do, because we said it. So we give power to not only the enemy if they're negative thoughts about ourselves, but we also scare and frighten the enemy also with our words. So there are things that you can say out of your mouth when you know those thoughts come up that tell you you're not beautiful, where you can say, I am beautifully and wonderfully made, and I am made in the image of Christ. And then the enemy flees, right? Because God's word said every knee shall bow. So we know that there's power in your words, and it's so important for you to be very intentional, to hold yourselves accountable to what it is that you're saying, even casually. And, you know, we get a little confused or a little relaxed when we call it venting. You know, when we're like, oh, I just need a vent. I just need a vent. You know, let me just tell you about myself. Let me tell you. Because, you know, this is what the devil's like, yeah, she's about to vent. Because then I really know what she's thinking. Very, very dangerous. Not only to your heart, but to your soul, to your mind. And the enemy can only attack you in your mind. That's the only place he attacks you. But that is the hardest place to change if you're not intentional about it. Or like you said, if you're not aware, Candace. And so tell us the second tip that you have for our viewers about kind of practical things, or how they can move past what's really blocking them. What would you say that is? What's really blocking them from really having a healthy, whole beauty confidence?
So one thing that oh, we're echoing. Sorry, guys. One thing that I would encourage everybody to do is to, again, write down a list of even things that you currently think about yourself, even if they're in the negative, and to counteract those with God's truth. And immediately when it comes to your mind, like this thing, and you're thinking these negative thoughts, to be reminded of what God's truth says. Another way to do that is to have a group of other women. And this is why God Sisters, this is why, you know, organizations like my own, Sister Artistry, why they're so important is because you need to be surrounded by women who are going to speak truth to you. With regards to the venting thing, I used to be a big venter. My husband has taught me a lot about the power of my word. And instead of venting so much about what you think about yourself, I think it's important for us to be honest about how we feel. Because sometimes we confuse how we're feeling with truths about ourselves, or I should say lies. So, for example, if I'm feeling really, or my thought may be, oh my gosh, my hair is so nappy, right? What am I really feeling? What is it that I'm not pleased with? You know, my true feeling might be, I'm really frustrated that these products that I'm using are not defining my curls. That's what you know. That's true. I'm frustrated, but it's a lie that my hair is nappy. That's not true. You know, so that's something that we can begin to do is when you start feeling those thoughts, you have those thoughts in your head, identify what you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with expressing your feelings, but there is something wrong with professing out of your mouth lies that are not from God.
That's really good. And so, how do they, you know, in an effort to do that, to, you know, put that into practice, how do you, like, consciously express how you feel versus, you know, the lie about the, you know, the nappy hair, talking about, oh, I hate, you know, really frustrated that this $40 gel, because it's, you know, really expensive, right? This $40 gel is not defining my curls the way I'd like to, because we're conditioned to talk negatively about ourselves. So how can our listeners practically do that? How can they, is it a, you know, is there a system that you used that helps you to learn how to express how you feel versus, you know, speak or negative thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. So two systems that I have started to use. One of them is one that you taught me, which is to write out those lists of affirmations. You know, really writing out words that describe who I believe I am and who God has said I am to me, and to saying them, you know, in the morning times or saying them throughout the day, whether I have them in a notebook. So I just kind of go through that notebook and I'll repeat those things about myself. Additionally, there are so many different sites out there that have lists of feeling words, which are really, really helpful. I found them to be helpful because sometimes we don't even know what it is that's really bothering us. And so conditioning ourselves, or reconditioning ourselves, I should say, to pause before we actually speak. You know, that old adage of think before you speak cannot be underestimated. That's a really, really big part of reconditioning our mind, is to really stop and think before we speak. And have other, like I said before, girlfriends around you that can keep you, you know, reminded. The last tip I'll share is just, I read an article the other day that I thought was phenomenal, and it talked about how to properly accept and receive a compliment.
Yeah.
So many of us receive compliments and we immediately shy away from it, or we redirect the attention to the other person. Oh, thank you. You know, your person's really cute too. You know, whether or not you believe it, it's just a way to deflect that attention away from yourself. And so one way to embrace your beauty and embrace who you are is to accept a compliment. Just say thank you. You know, if they want to know, like, oh, you're just always so happy, what have you, tell them why you're happy. You know, tell them what it is that really is on the inside of you that they're seeing on the outside. And be bold and courageous.
That's great. I do know that boldness takes practice. And, you know, I've really prayed just for it for, you know, many, many years. I was really encouraged when I went to I think it was a Beth Moore event, and I just saw how authentic and bold she was, just in the way she loved God and the way she loved people. And I just prayed for that for a really long time, and God started just developing me to have more of a boldness. And so I wanted to just encourage you that it's something that takes practice. You know, while the renewing of our mind, where we really surrender the negative thoughts and we make a decision to no longer have or speak negative thoughts, or even catch ourselves when we think negative thoughts, is very, very powerful. I had a really dear friend who shared with me an exercise that I thought, oh my gosh, this is really great. And where she had a bracelet, it was like a tight bracelet on her wrist. And every time she had a negative thought, she had to take the bracelet off and put it on the other hand. And it was a reminder because, one, it was really hard to get the bracelet off and then to put it on the other hand. So it is like your own personal accountability. But, you know, lots of times with accountability, we'll be like, oh, we'll do it for the first week or we'll do it for the second week, and then it kind of falls off. But really, even doing it with people is key. And, you know, I would be, if I didn't share just the opportunity to really walk with people in this process, then I think I would be doing our viewers an injustice. And so in October, I am starting a program, and it's a 12-week program, and it's called Live What You Believe, and it is a group coaching program for 12 weeks with other women who are really walking through the process of just pulling themselves, or stepping out of the shadows, I should say, stepping out of the shadows and stepping up into the power and the boldness of who they are. And so Live What You Believe is, again, 12 weeks, and it is where you have different modules and exercises as well as just coaching from me that will help you to not only identify the areas in your life that you are still people pleasing in or just struggling a little bit in, but really needing to, are tired of being stuck. You know, something that I saw today is that you may be on the right track, but if you're not moving, then you're going to get run over. And I love that. I thought, oh my gosh, that is awesome. But so you may be on the right track, but if you're still standing still and you're not moving forward, then, you know, life will run you over and it will overtake you. And so I wanted to, I also want, there's, you know, some different things that I do know that Candace wants to share as well. And so I wanted to let you guys know, if you are interested, and if it really is, finds that you are in a place of not only making the decision, but truly holding yourself accountable to walking it out. I like, you know, I'd rather you be ready than you to say you're ready and not do the work to really experience the breakthrough and experience the beauty and the fullness of who you are. You know, because it's kind of like losing weight. You know, we don't, if somebody says, oh yeah, I want to lose weight, but they're doing it for someone else, then they're still people pleasing, right? And so I don't want you to people please. I want you to be ready to make the decision to move forward and really invest in yourself and invest in just your, not only your future, but just the greatness of who you are. And so Candace, can you tell us you know, there was another thing that you mentioned that I thought, oh my gosh, that was so good. I can't remember it's the awareness. It was where's my other thing?
Activating.
Yes, thank you. And then I'll get the other slides ready. Go ahead.
Okay. So the other thing you can begin to do, ladies, is to begin to activate your character development. What does that look like? That is just like Kristen said, it's taking practice. It is starting with something small. I can say for myself that you know, sometimes easier to get started and do something for a few days and then it falls off. But in order to really begin to develop and cultivate these things, be realistic. You know, so don't put yourself on this strict goal or expectation. Be very realistic with yourself. You know, today I'm going to speak two things of character within myself. I'm going to really aspire to work on being trustworthy. So if I say that I'm going to be somewhere at this time, then I'm going to be there at that time. And then kind of work backwards. You know, what are the things that I need to do in order to be on time, as opposed to thinking of this entire list of character traits and external things that you want to maintain that you're really not able to do at this time. So just being realistic with yourself and being honest about the goals that you're setting for yourself and giving yourself grace. Giving yourself grace. So important. We're on this life journey, and we don't know when it will end, but you can't be so caught up with yesterday, and you can't be so caught up with tomorrow to be really present with today. So be graceful with yourself and make room for your fault. Really be realistic with the goals that you're setting, so that you can actually see some progress and some fruit in your life as you go along.
That's really good. I had a recent moment of, you know, just taking off the cape. You know, when that people-pleasing thing, it breeds perfectionism, which is just as bad, because the only one who's perfect is the Lord, right? But we really here on earth try to pretend like we really can be perfect and that we really can do it all. So I love that when you say just having grace with yourself, you know, just embrace the process is really key. And I think that's, if we can learn that even at a younger age, oh my gosh, I guess only can imagine how different my experiences would be, because I just put so much undue pressure on myself for so many years to be these things that, you know, I thought other people wanted me to be. And so that's really good. And so I wanted to just quickly go through, and then Candace, if you have any final words that you're wanting to share, and then tell people also about any programs that you offer or anything that you have coming up, we'd love to hear that. So even just the Live What You Believe program it's a group mentoring program, and you're asking, like, will this work? I wanted to share with you the next steps, and that is to join the winning team of women who have made the decision, who are ready to just stop existing, just stop being in this holding pattern in their lives, but truly start moving forward and being and becoming everything that God has created them to be. And so livingwhatibelieve.com is where you can go to learn more about the program. Yes, there is an investment. Why? One, because the investment it's important because people value what they invest in. What they invest in, they value. And so there's also an ingrained accountability for you to show up and participate. Also, it just shows just your readiness level. And it's important, again, like I said, it just doesn't make sense for you to invest in something that you're not ready for, or you're not willing to make the commitment and investment and just having the will to do it. And so what do you get? One, you get just all of these different things in different ways. And so there's amazing accountability and mentorship where we just hold each other accountable and uplift and encourage one another. The Live What You Believe Blueprint, which are the modules and the exercises that I was telling you for 12 weeks. Ooh, that looks funny. Sorry. There's broadcasts that we have here, and then there's notes and a community. But what is it that I really focus on teaching? And that's the Live What You Believe principles, that becoming authentic is the most important thing. And that is, I have no idea what happened to my wording, so I thank you guys for your grace. But becoming authentic is the most important thing. And so discovering also the value of just showing up. Again, you don't want to be on a train track going the right direction but not moving. that your attitude does matter and what you believe makes a difference, where we talk about the importance of and the power of your words, and that when you're able to change your mind, it will change your life. The grass is greenest where you water it. You know, I've heard even from several of my coaches that what I focus on is what will manifest. And so again, where the grass is greenest is where you will water it. Love is a verb and not a feeling. So I really focus on wanting to teach you how to love yourself by truly developing a deeper intimacy with God and understanding who He's created you to be. And difficulty doesn't mean giving up. Again, like I said, it's a process that we all will have to go through in order to achieve what it is that we desire. And so the value of all of it is $3,649 with everything that's put together. But wait, I want to give more to the first 10 people who are interested in and are really ready in making this investment. There are some fast action bonuses that I have provided and that I wanted to offer, and it's not a complete makeover, but a complete mind over, where this is a journal, an action journal that will help you in, writing your confession and in several areas of your life, and again, holding yourselves accountable to renewing your mind. And then second is the Mastermind Accountability Group that we have, and that's on Facebook, which is just a private group that we share and encourage one another. And then the What You Believe Body Appraisal. And so this is a journal workbook that helps you to praise every aspect of your body. And we literally go from head to toe through this journal workbook. And then I have no idea what's wrong with it. It must have been when I uploaded it or something. My slides got messed up. But there are 2 30-minute private sessions that you will have in addition to your group sessions. And then the special for today only is the normal price is $9.97, but for today it's $7.97 if you pay it in full, or 4 easy payments of $215, because I do believe in that you when you're ready to make the investment, you'll find a way to do it. And so I want to offer different payment plans as well for you to be able to do that. But today, if you are serious, you will save an additional $100. So the price is $697, and that is for 12 weeks. And all of the group coaching and the personal coaching and the workbooks, as well as the modules and the exercises, for if you go to livingwhatibelieve.com, that's where you will find it. And you'll also find my information if you really want to do this. I never want finances or resources to be a hindrance to really break through in your life, that you just reach out to me, send me an email or a private message on Facebook, and then we will make sure that it happens. And so, Candace, I wanted you to kind of wrap up with what it is that you kind of final last thoughts, final last words before. Either you can do it before you share kind of what your program is, and then you can do the final last words, or vice versa. It's up to you.
Okay. Well, I will share some final words with you guys. And this whole moment, this evening, is an opportunity for you to just kind of have pause from your week. We still have a couple more days to go, and to really say, I know that who I am right now is not all who God has created me to be. I have so much potential, but I know that there is a process that I have to go through in order to really begin to see some of that being produced in my life. And one of the first ways to do that is to really develop and cultivate that character. And so I just want to encourage you ladies, as we're all just going through this on a day-to-day basis, just know that you are created by God. You are your Creator's creation. He made no mistakes. I heard a quote on a radio station that said, God delights in your very existence. And that it melted my heart to hear that. And so I think that if you can remember that, then you are already on your way. A couple of things that we have coming up at C Squared Artistry is our online community. You can go ahead and visit csquaredartistry.com, and there you can sign up to join our community where you'll receive regular updates, newsletters. I'll be sending out some infographics, some articles. We'll be starting a blog. You can get some of these really important conversations that we're having right here. Get that on a more regular basis. Our mission here at C Squared Artistry is to multiply character and confidence in your life. And the key word is multiply. You can't multiply something that does not already exist. And we really do believe that all of these things that God has placed on the inside of you, they're already there. They just need to grow. And so we do that by having online conversations that we're hosting right now with Christy, as well as some in-person events that I'm hoping to host this fall. And I would love to see you all there. And last but not least, we have a new apparel line that we just came out with this summer. And so when you go to the website, what'd you say?
I said, yay, do you have any there? Can you hold them up?
I can't. I'll hold them up in just a second.
Okay, good.
But when you go to the website, you can go to our clothing boutique. You'll see a tab that says boutique. And go there, check out our t-shirts. We have tank tops, thirsts. It's starting to get a little chilly. And we have different slogans that go across them. You know, I am my Creator's creation, woman of confidence, bride of character. And one of my favorites is our newest edition that says admire, envy. So
nice.
Really, have an opportunity to express that which God is showing you. Be bold, wear that apparel, and enjoy it so that you can share that message with the people around you. Thank you so much for having me tonight, Christy.
Absolutely. How can people get to your website? Did you mention it?
Yeah, so they can just go to csquaredartistry.com, and that's directly to the website, or you can follow me
with
on
the word
Instagram.
out, right? It's C and then SQUARED, csquaredartistry.com.
Yep. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at @Art or at Candace Clay. So that's Candace, CANDACECLAI. So I'm on Instagram and Twitter.
Nice. Wear the shirt.
Oh, let me get a shirt. You can give them your final thoughts there.
Okay. Okay, yes. I do want to give you my final thing as well. Because it's just really encouraged me so much. Many of you, I'm sure, have heard of it already, but we lost a really great woman, Maya Angelou, not too long ago, very recently, and she wrote a poem called "Phenomenal Woman," and it's one of my very favorite poems. And so I'd like to read it to you before we kind of close out. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I am a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth. the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Wow.
Love it.
I love it. She's just so amazing. Wow. Really cool. So you have your, let me see.
I have my shirt.
Okay, let's see the shirt.
So this is one of the women of confidence.
Uh-huh.
And it has the logo on the back.
Oh, nice. I love it.
This one is Wife of Character.
Yay. Very nice.
When you go to the website and to the boutique, you'll see that there are many different styles, many different colors. We have them in all sizes, and they ship really quickly. So please go over to the website, csquaredartistry.com, so that you can order your shirt today. I would love to have you be a part of the community by wearing this brand.
Awesome. I love it. And you said your newest line is what?
It's tank tops and thermals. So live in hot weather, and you can still wear your tanks, or as we're getting kind of into the fall, you can get a thermal or long sleeve tees.
That's awesome. And I love the just what you were saying about admire, don't envy.
Right.
I love that. Oh my goodness. That's a really good one because I need to go home and get one of those. So you have that in t-shirt and tank top.
T-shirt, tank top, thermal, long sleeve.
Okay, good. Well, I'm very excited as we wrap up to just thank you. I really want to let you know how much we appreciate you spending this time with us today, and we would love to keep the conversation going, to continue to encourage you to just embrace all of who you are, to really celebrate your beauty, celebrate the curves in your hips and the smile that you have and the beautiful hair and eyes and nose and skin and height and weight and size, to celebrate it because God made you that way for a reason. And so we want to continue the conversation on our private Facebook group. So if you could please join us there just by clicking the link below, and so we can just continue the conversation to encourage one another. I also wanted to just invite you to this Saturday, we are having, it's going to be a live broadcast, like the world broadcast, and it's called Divas for Divas. And it is a 70 plus women who will be speaking on just everything that you can think of, from marriage to business to making money to organizing. They're just amazing women who will be a part of this live broadcast streaming event that will be all day on Saturday. And so yours truly will be there as well. And so I wanted to invite you there. And I will send the information. I will post it on our private Facebook group page So if you are interested in participating, you'll have all the information on how to get there. And so, Candace, any final words that you can think of that you really want to share as we close out these last few minutes?
I will also be speaking at an event that's coming up on October 18th. So if you are in DC, Maryland, Virginia area, that's going to be for an organization called Cultivating, and I will be doing a workshop there. The entire day is about embracing you. And so join me there. You can get tickets online. Again, if you go to my website, you can register for that event. So that is going to be on October 18th. I would love to see you there. And as we mentioned earlier, remember, as much as we love the outward appearance, and it's important to take care of that, don't get me wrong. I'm a makeup artist, so I understand makeup and how fun it is. But let us not let those character building things that will, they'll be with us even after we leave. They will be left with the people that you're with when your presence is there. So I encourage you guys to think about those character traits that you want to work on and to be really diligent in starting to see them change in your life. Good luck. Good luck.
That's great. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. And again, please you can visit me at myrelationshiprevolution.com. Or if you're interested in joining my tribe of women who are ready to just embrace all of who God has created them to be, that's at livingwhatibelieve.com. And we also, again, would love to see you on the Facebook page. So thank you again for joining us. My name is Christy Little-Jones and Candace Claiborne, and we appreciate you, we love you, and we think you are beautiful. So go be your own beautiful. I saw that quote once before and I was like, I love it. Be your own beautiful. So go be your own beautiful. Have a wonderful evening and we will see you next time.